It is tempting to look at an unpopulated PC motherboard as a simple plastic mounting plate, where components are mindlessly snapped into place like Lego bricks. The reality is far more rigid. This board is a highly specialized topological map, built to enforce a strict spatial hierarchy. Every component is assigned an exact physical coordinate for a reason. The exact placement of every slot, header, and pin is dictated by the immutable laws of physics. The engineers designing these pathways are constantly fighting against the speed of light, pushing extreme thermal thresholds, and stabilizing massive electrical currents. To understand how a computer actually works, we have to look past the marketing labels on the final product. We need to reverse engineer this board from a blank slate, building it up layer by layer to trace exactly how it routes raw power and delicate data. Mastering hardware requires understanding these physical pathways. It is the physical layout of these traces that allows completely isolated components to suddenly function as a single, unified intelligence. Looking at this top-down schematic of a bare motherboard, the central square immediately draws the eye. This is the CPU socket. It sits directly in the center because it serves as the primary architectural anchor. Every other component on the board radiates outward from this single origin point. Different processors require highly specific, varied pin designs. This physical layout establishes a hard constraint. A specific processor will only physically drop into a matching socket, meaning not every CPU is compatible with every motherboard. Once installed, the processor immediately faces its first physical limitation. To function without severe bottlenecks, the CPU requires instant, continuous access to the specific data it is actively computing. This active data is held in the system memory. To accommodate this, a series of tall, straight DIMM slots, where the RAM is installed, are placed directly alongside the CPU socket. This placement is entirely about physics. Across a circuit board, physical distance equals time. By positioning the RAM as close to the processor as physically possible, the data travels a shorter physical distance, severely reducing latency. This establishes the first rule of motherboard topography. Because distance dictates computational speed, the physical space immediately surrounding the central processor is the most valuable real estate on the entire board. Moving outward from the center, we have to address how this system survives its own massive electrical requirements. Along the right edge of the board sits a large 24-pin ATX connector. This acts as the primary power intake, pulling electricity directly from the power supply to run the memory, slots, and onboard controllers. Near the top edge of the board, there is a secondary, dedicated 8-pin power connector. This specific input bypasses the rest of the system to funnel power exclusively to the CPU, feeding it massive energy during heavy workloads. But there is a severe danger here. If we observe the electrical pathways on this schematic, the raw power arriving from the wall travels as fluctuating, erratic electrical waveforms. Injecting that directly into a microscopic processor would instantly destroy it. To prevent this, the current first passes through a cluster of small square components surrounding the CPU socket. This is the voltage regulator module, or VRM. As the erratic current flows through these blocks, the VRM actively controls and flattens the voltage, sending a perfectly smooth, safe electrical line directly into the processor. The consequence of flattening that electrical current is extreme heat. Because these components are constantly wrestling with high voltage, they generate temperatures high enough to melt solder. Consequently, they must be clamped down under heavy metal VRM heat sinks to dissipate the thermal load. The board's power delivery network operates as a violent balancing act. It is engineered to pull massive electrical force into the system, forcefully stabilize it, and mitigate the resulting thermal danger before it reaches the delicate silicon. Once stable power successfully reaches the processor, a logical problem arises. If the hard drive hasn't booted up Windows or Linux yet, how does the hardware actually know how to wake up and organize itself? Below the CPU socket sits a small chip called the BIOS, or UEFI. This chip holds the motherboard's foundational firmware. The moment you press the power button, this firmware activates, running essential hardware checks and orchestrating the system so that everything is prepared before the operating system is even permitted to load. Close by, you will find a small silver CMOS battery. Its sole job is to keep a trickle of power flowing to preserve crucial motherboard configurations, like the system time and the specific boot order, even when the computer is entirely unplugged from the wall. The engineers also built physical failsafes into this specific zone. A pair of tiny pins, known as the clear CMOS pins, allows you to trigger a hard physical factory reset. If a corrupted setting completely prevents the machine from booting, bridging these pins forces the BIOS back to its default state. Modern boards often take this a step further with a dedicated BIOS flashback button on the rear panel. This feature allows you to update the firmware directly from a USB drive, even if the CPU and RAM are completely missing from the board. Together, this cluster of components acts as the subconscious survival instinct of the machine. They operate completely independently of your main software, ensuring the hardware knows how to stay alive. Shifting focus to the lower half of the board, the architecture opens up for high-bandwidth integration. Here you find several long, horizontal PCI Express, or PCIe, slots, designed strictly for expansion cards. The largest of these is the primary PCIe X16 slot, typically reserved for large graphics cards. Because modern GPUs are dense and incredibly heavy, motherboards physically adapt to this stress by reinforcing this main slot with a metal frame, preventing the PCB from bowing or snapping under the sheer weight of the card. Below that sit smaller PCIe X4 and X1 slots. These connections allocate significantly fewer data lanes, providing just enough bandwidth for lighter peripherals, like dedicated sound cards, capture cards, or networking adapters. This lower topography also houses modern storage solutions. Nestled flush against the board are small M.2 slots, specifically engineered to hold highly compact NVMe solid-state drives. The architectural advantage here is massive. By plugging directly into the M.2 slot, these tiny drives connect straight into the PCIe interface. They completely bypass the need for external physical cables, allowing for data transfer speeds exponentially faster than traditional storage drives. The entire PCIe architecture serves as the motherboard's dedicated superhighway. It guarantees that the most demanding hardware has a massive, uninterrupted lane of data bandwidth, running straight back to the central processor. But providing direct lanes to the CPU creates a secondary routing problem. If every single USB mouse, keyboard, and external hard drive had a direct high-speed line to the processor, the CPU would be completely overwhelmed managing chaotic, low-priority signals. This architectural flowchart illustrates the solution. While the high-speed data lanes in blue go straight to the processor, the slower, chaotic data lanes in yellow are routed elsewhere. They converge into a separate component, hidden under its own heatsink, the motherboard chipset. This chip acts as an asynchronous traffic controller, catching all the slow data and organizing it before sending a single managed line up to the CPU. You can trace this routing directly to the edge of the board, where the flat SATA ports are located. Traditional hard drives and older SATA SSDs plug in here, forcing their data to filter through the chipset buffer before moving onward. This same logic applies to the rear I/O panel. Grouped along the back edge of the board, this panel manages a dense cluster of external connections, USB ports of varying generations and speeds, a highly stable wired Ethernet port for network connectivity, and the standard audio input and output jacks. It also manages specialized external hardware. If the processor has integrated graphics, this panel provides the HDMI or DisplayPort connections needed to send video directly to a monitor. If the board supports wireless networking, you will find threaded connectors here to attach antennas directly to the built-in Wi-Fi module. The chipset and the rear I/O panel work in tandem to create a vital buffer zone. By organizing thousands of chaotic external inputs at the edge of the board, they ensure the main processor remains completely free to execute high-priority computations. Finally, we reach the unpopulated extreme edges of the motherboard. This perimeter is lined with internal headers, small pins designed to physically connect the logic of the motherboard directly to the external chassis of the computer case. Along the bottom, the front panel header wires directly into your case's physical power buttons and status LEDs. Nearby, internal USB headers, including specialized connectors for front panel USB-C and the HD audio header, route data and sound directly to the front of your tower. The board also establishes a thermal management network here. Through specific headers labeled CPU fan and system fan, the motherboard reads real-time temperature fluctuations and autonomously commands the cooling fans to throttle up or spin down exactly when needed. You will also spot highly specialized pins like the TPM header. This allows for the installation of a trusted platform module, securing a dedicated physical location for the hardware-based security features demanded by modern operating systems. When we look at this top-down view of a fully assembled system being powered on, we can see exactly how these isolated zones interact. The massive current from the ATX power headers perfectly synchronizes with data surging through the PCIe superhighways and the organized traffic routed through the chipset. A motherboard is an elegant engineering solution to a chaotic physical problem. It is a perfectly partitioned physical plane, carefully routing massive, dangerous electrical currents alongside incredibly delicate data streams, allowing isolated pieces of hardware to act as one.